Hey explorers, it's Key to Explore here, and today is my last day in Seattle. Today is the last day in the Pacific Northwest for me, and today I'm going to do a lot of different things, and I'm running late because I slept and I went to try to get breakfast. They were slow as molasses. I didn't even take my phone down there, but anyway, I am headed to the Space Needle, the Chihuly Garden and Glass. I'm going to get brunch, and I'm going to go on a boat cruise, boat tour, and have a good time. So let's get going. So I've hopped into a Lyft and I'm riding over to the Space Needle from the W Seattle, which was about a 6-minute car ride. It also could take about 24 minutes to walk there from the W. The ticket to get into the Space Needle was combined with my ticket to the Chihuly Garden and Glass, which was $57. And I had to reserve a time slot for entry into the Space Needle. So upon entry, I was able to learn about the construction and history of the Space Needle and it being built during the Amazing Space Race. Once I went through this historic part and security check and ticket control, I hopped in a queue and boarded an elevator to go up to the viewing deck for the Space Needle.
Under 5 feet, that's 184 meters or 60 stories. The Space Needle was built back in 1960.
They also have fun green screen technology to take photos with different Seattle scenery with the Space Needle in the background. But this is the machine that you will fill out to get that information, and it was not the best. I spent way too much time here trying to get a photo.
Which is one of Seattle's original neighborhoods. The large building you see on top of the hill is the old Queen Anne High School, which opened in 1909, but is now luxury condos as of 1983. To the right of Queen Anne Hill, you can see freshwater lake stairs. Restrooms will be to your right. The monorail, which takes you downtown, will be straight ahead. And Chihuly.
Okay, I am done at the Space Needle. You don't really need much time there, so my ticket, I had a combined ticket to go to the Space Needle and Chihuly Garden and Glass. So I'm going to head over there now to that museum. There wasn't time entry to go into the Chihuly Garden and Glass Museum. I just walked right over to the museum right after I finished at the Space Needle. Since the ticket was combined, as I mentioned, I used that same ticket to get into the Chihuly Garden and Glass. I spent about 45 minutes in here looking at these wonderful structures. They also have a place where you can learn about how Chihuly made these different structures. So you can sit down and watch videos on how he has created these different designs with his team over time. What was also neat is that in the middle of this museum, I ran into a glass making class. So you can watch the glass making happen right there in front of you, and they explain to you how it's done.
Melting furnace. This furnace holds 150 pounds of clear molten glass. It's sitting inside these Celsius. That's why the clear glass looks more used the bubble. So first, rolling the glass across the steel top table. This is called the marver. Then we can start to inflate it a little bit. So blowing into that bubble, it's expanding slowly. Just like that, comes right off.
After you finish touring outside and seeing the wonderful art pieces out there, you will go back inside, and that's where you can see the video of Chihuly making his pieces with his team. And then you exit through a gift shop and head back outside. And after this, we will now head to brunch at Portage Bay Cafe. So about a week or two before going to Seattle, I decided I wanted to go to brunch the Sunday before I leave. So I did a simple Google search and found a couple articles that mentioned Portage Bay Cafe is a great place to eat at for brunch in Seattle. You must make reservations, particularly if you're going on a Sunday, because it was extremely crowded. I still had to wait a little bit with a reservation, but it was extremely crowded. Every seat was taken in Portage Bay Cafe. But I can see why. The food was delicious. I ended up getting an avocado sandwich, mimosa, and eggs for my wonderful breakfast, and it did not disappoint whatsoever. Definitely check out Portage Bay Cafe if you are ever in the Seattle area. All right, explorers. So as you can see, I've been to Space Needle, I've been to Chihuly Garden and Glass, and I have brunch. Portage Bay Cafe, or whatever it's called, was delicious. The food was great, but you definitely need a reservation. You definitely gonna need a lot of time. It took me about an hour to get my food. But now I'm at the Olympic Sculpture Park before I take my boat tour. So I decided to come here first. So let's check it out. So, of course, when I got here, the weather changed, of course, in Seattle from lovely sunshine to rain. So I didn't stay as long as I wanted to. But the Olympic Sculpture Park transforms a 9-acre industrial site into open and vibrant green space for art. So as you walk around, you'll see a lot of different art pieces with information on a plaque next to the art piece. There's also places for you to sit and enjoy the park, as well as just walking paths to see all of the artwork. The Olympic Sculpture Park is owned and maintained by the Seattle Art Museum, and it is free for entry. Can you tell that I am cold and it is raining off and on this afternoon? But I am walking to the cruise boat thing, and I'm taking photos along the way so I won't be like super early waiting for the boat. As I walked to Pier 55, I also stopped in the souvenir shop after taking photos along my rainy walk. The last part of my trip in Seattle, I decided to take a cruise in the harbor with Argosy Cruises. So I found this cruise on Viator, and if you're interested in booking this cruise, I will leave a link down below. It is an affiliate link, so I may get commission from you booking a tour through this link with no additional cost to you. The tour was about an hour long, and it took us through different sights and sounds of the harbor and Elliott Bay. So I got to learn a lot about the area and see some wonderful sights along the way. The cruise takes off from Pier 55 at designated times. You can buy tickets there if you have time. So I know I wanted to buy a ticket so I can have a designated time and schedule so I know when to get there. If you buy tickets on site, you may get there too early, too late, or whatever, and you'll have to wait for the next cruise. So that's why I prefer to buy it online. They also had a place on board where you can buy snacks and drinks along the way and live commentary. So when I went, there is an up. So on the cruise, there are two levels. There's an inside level and there's an upstairs level that is outside, which can kind of suck if the weather changes and it rains, as you know, Seattle can do. So I sat inside. Now, it also really sucked because they had tables set up. So if you're traveling with a smaller group or solo, you may end up sitting with someone you don't even know. And if you don't want to do that, I recommend pulling over a chair and sitting somewhere where there is no table and making your own seating area. The cruise takes off, as I said, from Pier 55 at 1101 Alaskan Way, and it returns to the same place where it departs from. This is definitely a wonderful way to just relax and see Seattle from a different viewpoint.
There with the struts, or where the propeller shaft would be, if it had one. But yeah, so it's a pretty cool boat. It's a more traditional Navy vessel. And this next one is the biggest jet ski you'll ever see in your whole life. It's a little over 400 feet long. It is a littoral combat ship. And I say jet ski because you see those four boxes there on the underside of it? Those are its propellers. And it works just like a jet ski. There's an impeller that pushes water, and then the water gets shot out of those holes. It's a water jet engine, right? That's a long time waiting at a railroad crossing, right? So much more convenient and safer for the cargo to be moved on these containers, because we lose a very small percentage of these containers on their interoceanic voyages. And as an additional measure, the lightest...
All right, explorers, I just walked up those deadly hills from the boat cruise, but now it's time for me to go collect my luggage, change my clothes, and head to the airport so I can fly back to Atlanta. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. It's free for you to do so, and it helps me improve my channel for you in the future. And if you have any questions about this video, make sure you leave it down below in the comment box. Please don't forget to share this video with friends, family, and social media networks. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day or night wherever in the world you are. Bye. If you enjoy Seattle, make sure you head on over to keytoexplore.darkroom.tech to see my photographs that I took while in Seattle. You can also purchase one of those prints to support my small business and decorate your space. Thank you so much again for your continuous support.